Good morning, good morning. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Good morning, good morning. Can y'all hear me? I want y'all to let me know if y'all can hear me. I am, y'all got your, this is your pilot, Brother Seeley speaking, and I am standing in and sitting in for Prof. Duff and Brother Dean. They both, graduation time and everybody's out with family, so y'all got me. So y'all let me know if y'all can see and hear me. I want to make sure that folks can see and hear me before I go any further. Okay, y'all can hear me. All right, very good. One last thing, y'all let me know. Let me see something. Let me try something. Can y'all hear the music? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear the music. If y'all can't hear the music, that's cool. But just let me know if y'all can hear the music. Is the music coming across? Y'all let me know. Very good. So I want to say hey to everybody. I hope that the music is not drowning me out. So like I said, I want y'all to join with me. And we gonna take care of Prof. Duff's house this evening. We gonna keep it funky, but we gonna keep it in love. And so that's what I want to do. I want to do what Prof. Duff always does. And so I want to say, Sister April Watson, you were first in the chat. So good morning to you from Tampa. Next, of course, Realign the DJ is always in the crib. Love your Mountains 12-inch. You know what's up. You done your reading for the day. There we go. Sister Anna B from Sunrise to Moonset. Welcome to the Purple World. There's our Detroit brother, Brother Andre Staley. What up, though? Anybody else see Is God Is or I Love Boosters? I have not had a chance to see it either yet. I'm also trying to get to see The Mandalorian. Want to say hello to Sister Cassandra. She's giving us love from the ATL. Happy Memorial Day. This is the course, Prof. Duff. This is Bad Robot. What's up, Purple Peaks? All right, let me add to the stage, brother. Sexy, big sexy. Can you hear the music?
I hear the music a little bit, but I can hear you clear as a bell.
Okay, very good, very good. I'm not gonna try to raise the music because I can barely hear myself over the music. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop it. I'm not. So I want to say thank you, brother, for joining me. I have never hosted anything live before, so this is my first time. And look here, I just want to make sure that we keep the house straight now. And I want to say thank you, brother, for joining and coming in and making sure we get this thing right. What do you want to say to the peoples before I get to showing folks who else showed up today?
First, I want to say that I got the call. The professor sent out the call. I said I got him. I got Seeley. That's my dog. I'm going to roll with him.
I appreciate it.
I'm flattered to be included and invited. I love this space. We always get into it. And I was a little egghead today and did the reading in advance, so I know what we're going to talk about.
There we go.
And that's some stuff that I was in the Bay Area going on with when that time happened, and we have a blast. I'm ready to get into it.
So I'm gonna definitely, when we get to that part, well, I'm gonna let you. We're gonna go back and forth, but I'm gonna set it up so that when we get to the Bay Area, you get to read that. And also, you know what I got to do every time I see you is I got to give you some of that American Dream love, Dusty Rose. Got to give you some of that Dusty Rose, American Dream love, and now we can get on with the show.
Well, baby, you're gonna get funky like a monkey up in here, if you will.
There you go. There you go. Funky like a monkey, baby. Hard times. We're gonna ain't gonna be no hard times up in the day. So, Sister Chanel, what's up to you? She said, good morning, Purple Peaks. Grateful for D'Angelo for putting us on to Alice Smith. She got a ticket to see the show performance in D.C. on July 18th. Oh, there he is. Brother Lee Christian, all the way from the UK. That's my UK brother right there. I always appreciate Brother Lee showing up. Brother Nick Felton coming in from Denver, baby. You know what? And I always think about, he's not from there, but whenever I see Denver, I always think about John Denver. And what was his song, Rocky Mountain High? I always think about John Denver. So, all right. What's up, Sister Lori? Sister Lori Johnson is in the space. Sister Christina is always joining us from Minneapolis, wishing us a happy What Did Prince Do This Week? Or as Brother Theo would say, why do people dance this weird? Good morning, Rockabosh. That's right. We've been listening to the D68 boot of the 6th Annual Minneapolis Award Show. Prince was working his band on stage and barking at the crowd for not dancing. There we go. Want to give it up to Sister E.A. Ola from San Francisco. Give it up to our New York City, Sister Dr. Edwards. What's up, Sister Dr. Edwards? Always great to see you. Let me say it right. This is the DE68A show. Brother, we appreciate all the work that you do putting us on. Sister Heavenly Gaines, appreciate you, Sister Heavenly Gaines. I think I've gotten around. Oh, there we go. House of Theo, Brother Theo. Brother Theo, it is always, when I saw you jump in the chat, I said, I know Brother Theo and the folks who are here regularly going to get my back and keep me clean and keep me going. So I think wait a minute. Sister Drea Dances, how you doing, Sister Drea Dances? Always happy to see you. Brother J.D. Washington, always happy to see Brother J.D. Washington. Oh, here we go. Brother Chris Burnett, love to see Brother Chris. Brother, I got to give Brother Chris Burnett, you was clean. You was clean at the symposium this year, brother, so I want to give you a shout out. Purple Cat Confetti with everybody's favorite meme, everybody's favorite avatar, Purple Cat Confetti. I think I got, oh, wait a minute. I got to give a shout out to Prof. This is her literate brother, Brother Blade Brown. Always got to give a shout out. Oh, and I see creeping in Professor Arlene. Oh, Doc, what's happening? She creeping in. She creeping in like TLC, Big Sexy. She creeping in here.
Yeah.
There you go. And also, Sister Carol Brooks, happy to have you up in here. Always got to show love for Sister Andrea Reynolds. Always thank everybody for showing up. I think, wait a minute, one more. Sister L. Michelle, what's happening, Sister L. Michelle? Always happy to see you. And also, we got to put Sister Kim. You know you got to be holding that clock tight today. I'm up here by myself, so I'm gonna need you, Sister Kim. You got to make sure me and Big Sexy stay on time and stay in tune, right? Brother Melvin Rush, what's happening, Brother Melvin Rush? Also got to give it up to the Boombox Guru. All right, I think we got. So let me switch over a little bit. As Prof Dust always does. Let me make sure I get that straight. There we go. All right. So as Prof Duff always says, we know we in difficult times, but we gonna make it because we got love and we got each other. We gonna send out peace and blessings to everybody that's struggling. Peace and blessings to everybody that's feeling it. Saw Sister Charles pop in. Hey, Sister Charles. Brother Duck Swan has come in. Sister Nikki has come in. So we just want to say hey to everybody that's coming in. So as Prof Double wanted us to do, we want to give peace and blessings to everybody. There we go, Sister Kim. Look at there you go. Keep it straight. There we go. Won't be no salon in the day because I'm worried about what we're doing. We're gonna do the salon at the end for sure. There she go to Web Diva. What's happening, Web Diva? Happy to have you here. And so, what did Prince do this week? Week 21, 1986. We were playing 6. If you could hear, we were playing 6. We are here every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. You can find us at bookclubpolysolid.com/schedule. This is a very slow read of Brother Duane Tudahl's Prince Studio Sessions book series through an interactive weekly online book club and Saturday salon, echoing the spirit of the Harlem Renaissance. That means we're going to talk about Brother Duane's book. We're going to talk about everything Prince, and we're going to talk about everything that's connected to Prince. So if you're wondering what all that means, and Big Sexy feel free to jump in as I'm going through these. We're going through this. One minute, I'm just going to check to make sure I'm doing everything right. So what did Prince do this week? We are going week to week. That's Sunday to Saturday of 1986, not date to date. As Prof. says, you are figured out. I'm one of those people. It took a minute to figure out. So if you're reading the book, we always going Sunday to Saturday. What did Prince do this week? Week 20, the schedule. If you want to go to the square, if you want to see the schedule, that just you can scan the QR code, or you can go to the bit.ly link, Prince Book Club. We are on May 19th, 1986 through Friday. That's Monday, May 19th to Friday, May 23rd. That's what we're going to be reading today. And you do not need the paperback, right? You can have the hardback, but just in case you ain't got it, it don't matter which one, but the paperback is the one with the little orange circle at the bottom. And you know that if you got that, but if you got the hardback, you good too. So the paperback got a few more pages. That's the only difference, is that the paperback got a few more pages in it. All right. Let me keep us going here. All righty. Making sure I'm getting everything. Yeah, there we go. All right. We want to make sure that you like and subscribe. We want to make sure these also, if you're going to tell folk, let folk know that these will be archived at YouTube at Polysolid and YouTube at MD. That's Podcast Juice. And so we, again, props to Prof Duff, props to Brother Dean, props to Brother Turnbull, of course, the Big Sexy for joining us. But, you know, Prof Duff built this house for us. Michael Dean came along and manned the ship with her, and we've been doing this for over 2 years now. If you want to contact us, and this will be important because we're getting ready to start discussing the hit and run schedule. And so as we get the hit and run tour, and so as we're discussing the hit and run tour, if you saw any of those shows, we want you coming on. So what you can do is you can contact us at wdpdtw@gmail.com. Of course, that stands for What Did Prince Do This Week? wdpdtw@gmail.com. Email us. Let us know you was at the tour. Let us know you want to come on, because we want you to come on, because Big Sexy came on and shared his story about being at the Purple Rain show. Brother Rick, rest in peace, Brother Rick. He came on. Brother Ricky Wyatt came on, and a lot of people came on and testified to the funk. So that's what we want y'all to do, is come on and testify to the funk. So we need y'all to know that we love the estate. We love what the estate is doing, but we want to make sure that people know that the estate of Prince Rogers Nelson is not affiliated, associated, or connected with the What Did Prince Do This Week book club series, nor has it endorsed or sponsored the What Did Prince Do This Week book club series. Further, the estate of Prince Rogers Nelson has not licensed any of its intellectual property to the producers, advertisers, or directors of What Did Prince Do This Week book series. And we also want y'all to know that this is a family, and we only have one community guideline. That is, we choose to be a community even when we disagree. So, folks, we love Prince. What I always say is Prince understood that human beings are pie charts with multiple slices. And Prince wanted us to engage each of those slices. So we know that some of y'all may come to Prince through the funk. Some may come to Prince through the rock. You may be like me and you come to Prince through the blues. You may come to Prince through the R&B, through the bangers, through the slow jams. It doesn't matter, because it's all love. And so just because somebody says they love one thing, that doesn't mean that they don't rock with you and everything that you feeling with Prince. So we're going to always show love to that. All right. We about ready to get into some reading. What did Prince do this week? And thanks to Brother Anil Dash for what we know. This is the 173rd, 173rd shows. That means that Prof Duff and Brother Dean and all y'all in the chat, y'all been putting in the work. This is week 21 of 1986. For this week, we had one studio session. There's one live concert and one live appearance. You can see here that it's going to be again May 18th through May 23rd. We had some session work, some studio work on Get On Up. Then we had the 6th annual Minnesota Music Awards. And then the 12-inch of Mountains came out. We're going to read about all that. As Brother Dean said, the 22nd, well, we don't have in Brother Duane's book. That's the other book that what Prince was doing when he wasn't in the studio. And then we're going to end discussing the hit and run tour at the Warfield Theater. We're going to let Big Sexy tell us about that. And so, Big Sexy, we're going to get to this. Is there anything you want to say before we get to do some reading, or if not, I'll let you open us up with the reading for Monday, May 19th, 1986.
All right, not a problem. Before I get into my reading here a bit, it just hit me that Elton John wrote the foreword for this book. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Duane, you gotta like that. Okay. But next time, Duane, I want an advance copy, man. Hey. All right, get on up. Next, Monday, May 19th. Estimated May 19th. Washington Avenue Warehouse in Edina, Minnesota. Producer Prince, artist Prince, engineer Susan Rogers. Let me ask right now. Is this the same Get On Up that ended up being Carmen Electra's song?
Yes, so it's the we talked about it being the remake, the cover, and it eventually became, and think about how long ago, how much time between he's working on it in '86, and that didn't come out to like early '90s.
Exactly. Okay, Todd Harriman recalls what it was like in Minneapolis while Prince was traveling and the Revolution was rehearsing. According to Todd, he was actually going back and forth to Nice, working on the movie Under the Cherry Moon at the time. So a lot of times he wasn't actually at rehearsals, but he would have the band rehearsing in the warehouse from 10 to 6. They would actually videotape the rehearsals and they would FedEx the videotape, and he'd watch them, send back changes. This guy was the hardest working guy I know. Damn. And he would then make sometimes announced, sometimes unannounced visits back from Nice to check upon the band. Even when he wasn't always there, if people showed up late to rehearsals, they got docked. You know the deal. And he was on top of it. I mean, he was really on top of it. That was a heavy quote. Prince probably wanted time with the band because the following day, they were scheduled to perform at the 6th Annual Minneapolis Music Awards, and a brief mix of Get On Up was done on this date, and a cassette was made. In the session, it was unclear if Prince oversaw the session or Susan Rogers was using his suggestions to update the track. Now, the whole deal, and I've said this before, about docking your band when you mess up, that's just the way it is. This is business. This is your job. You know, one of my favorite stories is when Jimmy Jam talks about learning, 777 and 311. You know, he's playing the one piece, and here comes Prince. Jimmy Jam, what doing with your left hand?
I love that story.
There's nothing going on. It's going to be bigger than the record. Play something with the left hand. Okay, then he got to the point where he could play the parts and tip his hat and do the little four corners step. Why? Because he put in the work. That's what the best band leaders always did. From Springsteen to Prince to I just lost the thought here.
Hey, James Brown, anybody?
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Because you knew you need to come prepared to play and put in your piece and be ready to change on the dime. Don't come here and say, "Well, I didn't know." No, you knew. You just didn't practice.
There we go.
Prince had his band locked up and skin tight. Let's go.
And I'm glad you hit that point, because I think that's one of the things. We know that Prince was naturally talented, but I think that the story that needs to be told was his work ethic, right? And you, I'm like you. I love that Jimmy Jam story, and I think that what gets discounted a lot is just how much work Prince put in. So I'm glad you told that Jimmy Jam story. And to all the young creatives out there, and anybody who's in the chat or somebody who will watch the recording on this, look, you can have all the talent in the world, but Prince was flying between Nice and Minneapolis, right? Who does that? He's flying because he wants to make sure that everything, but it's also a testament to find your passion. And if you find your passion and follow your passion, you never work a day in your life. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to follow your passion. So I'm thank you, Big Sex, for putting that in. Anything else you want to add to that before we get to the next reading?
No, just again, think about the classic traditional band leaders, and I have to mention the name, Ike Turner. Yes. Same thing, Yes. That's just the way it was. You come to this band prepared to go, and if you can't do it, we'll get somebody who can.
That's it. That's it. So I'm gonna give you a break because I want you to read when we get to Friday, May 23rd. But hold on, let me make sure let me do a little something here. Get on up. All right. So Tuesday. So now, wait a minute. Let me make sure. So folks, we're now about to discuss the 6th annual Minnesota Music Awards. I never got a chance to go to the Minnesota Music Awards, Big Sexy, but I did twice go to the Black Minneapolis Music Awards. And the second time I went, the two brothers from Full Force was hosting. The two brothers from Bowleg Lou and Paul Anthony.
Paul Anthony?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, so it was, and I want to say that Q Bear from WOKJ was there. I can't remember if Q Bear was co-hosting or if he was doing some other things. But yeah, so we're gonna read now about the 6th annual Minnesota Music Awards. So I'm gonna read that. Let me see if I get here. All right, so May 20th, 1986, the 6th annual Minnesota Music Awards venue, the Carlton Celebrity Room, Bloomington, Mississippi, Bloomington, Minnesota, capacity 2,150. This is a quote from Wendy. On behalf of Prince and the Revolution, we're working really hard and it's paying off. Thank you. Prince had missed the award show the previous year and wasn't able to accept the multiple awards he'd won. So for this year's event, he made up for it with a 40-minute show closer that included Raspberry Beret, Girls and Boys, Life Could Be So Nice, Controversy, including All Day, All Night chants, Mutiny, including chants from Holly Rock and part of the chorus from Dream Factory, Kiss, and Love or Money. Interestingly, Prince played nothing from Purple Rain. Prince would also take home the award for Best Original Funk Music for Raspberry Beret, Best Film Video Score for Parade, and Best Cover Artwork for Album for Around the World in a Day. The following day, Prince flew back to Los Angeles. I'm like you, Big Sexy, and I've heard this bootleg, and they were on fire. Oh, let me do this while I'm doing that. Since we know they were on fire, I think we have some pics from the show. Right? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So we have, and I love you. It's funny about seeing these pics now after all these years, but we'll talk about the show, but then I want to go through some of these pics. Anything you want to say about any of these pics that we have from that show?
No, this is my first time seeing them.
Yeah, and these are, I'm gonna go back. So yeah, so we got two screens of pics. I tell you that just thinking about what's the Kendrick Lamar line, sometimes you got to pop out and show folks, right? Prince was literally popping out and showing Purple Rain was over. He was popping out and showing Purple Rain is no more. And he did it specifically by not playing any Purple Rain songs during this show, which I think is a great move, but also a bold move, because he's making it clear, I'm not just going to be this one person here. And I love these shows. You can see Jerome and the boys, Jerome Wiley and Brooks getting down behind them. Wendy is always fire with the guitar. And you get so many different looks from Prince, because you get the midriff look with the jacket, but I love the tie. So anything else on that before we go on to the next stage?
Yeah, real quick. I appreciate and I acknowledge the fact, and I really admire the fact, that at that point, he wasn't doing Purple Rain. You know, that's what the true artist does. They take you on that journey. You know, I remember when David Bowie stopped doing all the Ziggy Stardust, and people would get on him. He's like, look, I'm not doing that. We're going forward.
Exactly.
You know, in that way, because if you don't do that, you get locked in to that one era. Mm-hmm. And nobody wants to hear anything you have to say other than that. Mm-hmm. You know, because I'd go to Prince shows. I went to the Third Eye Girl show and the piano and a mic tour. He would play something like a B-side, and people would ask me, "What's that? You don't know?"
Right.
Get out of here. You know?
Exactly. Go do your homework. So exactly. we want to get to our folks. And I love what Rockabye said, and jet lag be down.
Yeah,
you right, Rockabye's call. I couldn't have done all that flying and then went to go rehearse somebody, right? You know, what else? It says I lost a gig for not being prepared and never again. There you go, realigning DJ. That is it. That is it. Right. Want to go through here. You are right, Sister TP. His work ethic was otherworldly. Right. Want to go through some more of these. Let me see here. Let me see. Want to go through. I want to catch up with everybody. I think there we go. What better excuse than to go back to Paris? There you go. Right. Thank you for that, LTKK. That's right. Shout out to Full Force. It was really great. Said Rockabye Prince exhorting the unfunky crowd to sing and dance at the and you know what? Also, I also think that's also people showing up looking for a Purple Rain show and getting something else. You know what I'm saying? And so I love the fact that Prince understood what they wanted. Was like, no, y'all gonna groove to this funk here, right? That's right. Thank you, Sister Christina. Q-Bear from KMOJ was legend. Also, shout out and rest in peace to brother DJ, to brother Jules. Brother Jules was the first person I met when I got to Minneapolis when I went to go do research for my book. And he actually was the first person that got me into Paisley Park, was Brother Jules. So before I'd ever met Prince, Brother Jules was the first person got me in. So rest in peace to Brother Jules. And yes, Brother Q-Bear is a legend, right? Exactly right, Brother JD. The brothers from Full Force were always underrated. Says about 3 minutes into the performance, and it's funny, right? Profanity written. Oh, I got to revisit that. I had forgotten about that. Thank you, brother DE68, right? Chris Burnett said he loved that Prince was not just a superstar, but was an active member of the local. You're right, brother Chris Burnett. And the fact that Big Sexy, he made up for not being there last year. So he's like, I know I couldn't be there last year. So let me give you this funk this year. Want to give a shout out to Sister Karan for getting in. And I also have to echo, Sister Karan was sharp. She was sharp at the last symposium. So, Sister Karan, I'm not on social media, but I hope you took pictures and I hope you posted pictures because you was sharp. As we said, you was sharper than the board. You were cleaner than the Board of Health and sharper than the tech during the symposium here. All right. I think, let me see here. Did we get was that? Can we full screen? Oh, full screen photos. I'm sorry. Thank you, Kim. I will definitely do that. Let me do. There we go. Thank you for that. So let's go back. How's that, everybody? Thank you. There we go. Thanks. See, that's why I knew chat was gonna have my back. Thank y'all. So check that out. There, look at the boy in all his glory. Look at that. Hey, look at brother Eric Lee's looking all clean, Big Sexy. You know, always. You know, getting his Maceo Parker on.
Eric is always that dude. Always.
That's it. And then, of course, we got these full shots here. So definitely thank y'all so much for letting me know about that. Let me see what else. All right. So now we can, let me get here. Let me get us here. No, that's not where I want to get us. There we go. Get us here. There we go. Look at everybody gangster today gotta push buttons. Then all the gangster leaving once they gotta push them buttons. So we're gonna go now next. And so now we're at the 12. Hey, you! that 12. And so I'm I'll read a little bit because it's just one sentence, and then I'll let you read Friday, May 23rd. So Wednesday, May 21st, 1986, the 12-inch single of Mountains, backed by Alexa de Paris, is released. Big Sexy, tell us what you remember about the 12-inch of Mountains.
Well, you know, I was at that point, I was a freshman in college and just getting into this, whole adjustment of lifestyle. And I didn't buy the 12-inch at the time because I was still in the dorm. But that summer when I got my first apartment, I went bananas. And there was so much just generated from the album. And at the same time, the movie just wasn't doing well.
Right.
But the album was just killing it.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, we'll take that.
And so I'm like,
hold on, Celie. I want to say one more thing.
what?
You mentioned Eric Leeds. To me, Eric has always had that cool that your drummer has. So
Yeah.
what I mean to say that is when you're on stage and you're playing with the band and you get lost, you look at the drummer and you lock back in. You look at Eric and you lock back in. You know, he's that steady, presence there.
And I'm glad the fact that Eric won me over. It took a minute for Eric to win me over, but once he won me over, I became Team Eric as well. But I would say that I was one of those. I was 16. I was using my kind of like Prof Duff. I was using my lunch money to buy records. I didn't care. But look, and the thing about it was, I was an athlete throughout the year, right? So it wasn't like I was going to leave school at 3 o'clock and go eat. I wasn't getting home. So I was like not eating lunch, going to either basketball or baseball practice. And God forbid we didn't have a game. So I'm giving up lunch and maybe not even get home. Now, if we had a game, coaches would feed us. So I don't want to, right? But if we just had practice, I may get home 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. But to be honest, Big Sexy, I didn't miss it because I so love the music. And that's why I tell people about finding your passion. That yep. I didn't feel like I was missing anything by using my lunch money to buy records, because I can truly say, Big Sexy, art, and I know it's psychological when I say this, art made me full. Like I never missed it because I loved it so much. And so, yeah, when the 12-inch came out, for me, it was just, by this point, it's just more fun, right? You just getting more and more music. And that's what you falling in love with Prince for. You get more and more music. Let me see what some folks are saying in the chat here. There you go. Eric was clean. There we go. There you go, Realign the DJ. And so shout out to Prof Duff for always doing the homework, for getting us those great picks. That's what I love about Brother Theo and the next power generation, right? They be doing the homework. And so I'm so glad that folks like Brother Theo and the rest of the members of the next power generation, they're going to be here long after us, Big Sexy, and they're going to keep preaching the gospel of the funk, right? Thank you, Brother DE68, for letting us know that the USA had the red font and the UK had the black, plus with the poster. Let me see what else is going on. So Sister Christina said she went back and got hers. Let me see here where Brother Rockabye said Eric Leeds became identifiable for Tim, his cool man, in the same way that Don Merrick's importance. Hey, and I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yes.
There's a new Earth, Wind, and Fire documentary. I want to say it's on HBO. It's Questlove, by the way. Questlove did it. I've only seen the trailer. It looks fire. So go check out that new Earth, Wind, and Fire documentary. Let me see here. Said the best thing about Eric is he doesn't care if you. There you go. Yeah, you're right. And I love it. I love it, Brother Eric doesn't care, right? Let me see here. Yeah, that hey, Brother Chris Burnett, starving for the art, right? Thank you, Brother LTKK, Questlove Joan, for all you folks in Philadelphia. All right. So now what we're going to do is let me do this. We're going to get now into, we're going to let Big Sexy, hold on. Yeah, we go. We're going to let you read about the San Francisco show.
Okay, before I get into that, I got a question. Yeah. Are we doing because you mentioned the word earlier, are we doing the salon after
yes,
this?
We're going to do this. Yeah, after we finish all the reading, we definitely going to do the salon.
Okay, so Questlove, I got something for you, man.
Okay.
You looking for me. All right. Friday, May 23rd, 1986. The venue, the Warfield Theater, San Francisco, California. Capacity, 2,175, and it is sold out. And I was not there. We'll get to that in a minute. There's a quote from Alan Leeds that says there was a lot of confusion between Prince and his managers as to what the right path was in terms of should he or should he not tour, and the cost and the opinions seem to change on a daily basis. I know at varying points Prince wanted to tour and he didn't want to tour. Dude, make up your mind. Come on, man. You're killing me. The hit and run tour that Prince was planning was not a full-on tour in the strictest sense. He'd done a few previous shows just had done for Purple Rain, but only with a handful of concerts over the course of the next 10 weeks, it was hard to call it a full tour. Nonetheless, he made his way across the country with what seemed to be minimal preparation or fanfare, giving the fans little notice before the concert dates, which is really jacked up, preferring to announce them only a few days before the actual shows. Prince was playing at the Warfield for the third time this year, having guested with Sheila E. in March and with the Bangles the previous week. So he was familiar with the venue. The set and the staging was radically different from the Purple Rain tour as he expanded the band to include twice as many people as before. The band was still called the Revolution, but some of the members of the group didn't feel that it fit anymore. According to Eric, the name didn't quite have the same meaning to him anymore as he expanded the band. So I just kind of, termed it the Counter Revolution. Eric Lee started that. Unlike the claustrophobic nature of the Purple Rain tour, this was tight but allowed room for exploring and spontaneity on stage. From my standpoint, the parade gigs were just us going out and playing some of the music, and that's what I enjoyed about it, continued Eric. And here's another quote. I'm going to guess that this is from Eric, but it's not really attributed. Prince didn't take it as seriously. He looked at it and said, okay, this is the year I'm just going to go out and have some fun. I prove what I can do with Purple Rain, and now I'm going to go out and just be an R&B act. It didn't mean that he didn't take the music seriously, but it looked like he was having fun, and the smile on his face was much more genuine than I recall in any of the other tours. Prince was playful. That's why the parade gigs were the most enjoyable for me, of what I did in those years, because that was the loosest show that we did. We did an arrangement of Love Bazaar, and we did Mutiny in that show, and we would do either one of them. He would decide on the gig which when he felt like doing that night. So he would go to Wendy and let her know to count it off. If Wendy counted off 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, that was Mutiny. If she counted off A, B, C, D, we knew it was Love Bazaar. I wonder why they did that. Now we know. Even Andre Simone joined the band for on stage for a song. He called me up and we did Dance Electric. It was just spur of the moment, and right there and then that was it. Reflects Simone, who hadn't rehearsed with the band or participated in the sound check. I think he heard that I was there and he called me up. I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, it was like riding a bike. I heard that. In contrast to his last tour, Prince performed very little from 1999, only DMSR and Delirious and Limited Purple Rain, just to the title track, ignoring the biggest hits of his career. Bobby Z recalls Prince's mindset on this decision. He was 2 albums past it, and he was focused on the new songs. See, we talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Eric agreed. That tour probably went through more changes than just because we had let's try that again. That tour probably went through more changes just because we had such a big song list that we were starting out with. And I think that he was coming into a determination of what songs worked and what songs didn't work. And he said, yeah, what the fuck? I'm just going to do what I feel like doing. I heard that. Now, the Questlove. I'll get to Questlove in a minute. The show was at the Warfield, and as we just saw that he was there with the Bengals the week before, and back in March, he was there with Sheila. I was there with Sheila as well. I was at that show doing my thing. I didn't hear about this show in time to get down from Sacramento, and I was bent because back then we don't have the social media and the speed of media that we have now. Because I didn't hear about it till the day of, and there was no way. Had I known beforehand that he was doing his show, I'd have been there. But I didn't know, and I've been to the Warfield many, many times. I didn't know it was that small capacity-wise. That surprised me.
Tell us a little bit about the Warfield. What is as far as a theater, as far as an experience there? Give us at least set the stage for the Warfield, but what people would expect it for this show.
The Warfield design-wise looks a lot like a lot of old opera houses. It looks like the Apollo. It's got the tall sides and the boxes on the ceilings for your heavyweights, and it's a great venue. When I was a roadie back then, before I started college, we went in there and changed out some of the monitors and the main house speakers, to update their sound. It was a lot of fun, and I've seen so many shows there. I've seen Journey there. I've seen Sammy Hagar there. I've seen Night Ranger there. I've seen Santana there. That's just it was a staple, and it still should be a staple of one of the Bay Area music venues. Because back then you had Warfield, you had the Keystone clubs, and all these little things. You had Ruthie's Inn, and it was just great to have all these places you could go to and see different kinds of music at any time you wanted. And I miss that.
And so I want to, of course, thanks to Prof. Duff again. I'm going to go full screen because she's giving us some great picks from the show. Man, Wendy's looking clean. I got to give it to Wendy. Wendy's looking clean and cool.
Wendy's looking all right.
Look at Wendy looking clean and cool. I love over here. You know what? I love the black guitar. Like I don't think we got the black guitar enough for my taste. I love the black guitar. Anything about these three, and the outfit that Prince has on there with Wendy, that's always been one of my favorite ones. That was just always what my grandma would say, hip to dip. I always thought that was one of the hip to dip ones. Anything about these three photos before we go to some more photos that Prof. Duff has given us?
It's just the way that he expanded the group, and which meant by definition you had to expand the stage. I like that because to me the Purple Rain set was always too small. The way it was stage wise. Okay. It seemed like everything was pushed to the front. Like, you need room to run. And you really didn't have that back then. This, you had a little different vibe, and the band was doing what they do. And I didn't get a chance to see this incarnation until I got my hands on one of the parade warm-up shows from First Avenue.
Right.
I didn't say that. So yeah. And Wendy's looking pretty tasty there.
And now because they only did, I want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So they did 12. They only did 12 American hit and run shows, right? Before they did the parade tour in Europe. They played in Minneapolis, Boston, San Francisco, which is this show. They played in Los Angeles. They did 2 nights in Detroit. Of course, that's the Detroit is the famous birthday show. They were in Louisville, Kentucky. They were in Sheridan, Wyoming. My wife still gets mad whenever Prince says because she feels like MTV rigged that. So my wife hates that show. He played in Denver. Shout out to the people in Denver, and then 2 shows in New York. So only really 12 shows on the hit and run. So like a lot of us, we didn't get to see this incarnation live. Here's another one. Love this. That first shot, I've always kind of wanted. I know he's dancing, but I've always been like, man, this is one of the shots that make me think when people say Prince was an athlete, right? He was an athletic performer. So, and of course, just love the vibe that Wendy and Prince have. So, anything about these picks before we move on to some more picks?
Again, to do what he was doing back then, you had to be an athlete. You had to, and then to do it in the heels.
Yes.
Like, come on, man. Everybody can't do that. I can't do that. It's just, and he made it look effortless. And again, when you're so gifted, and this is really an unfair comparison that black athletes and musicians get, they think that we don't train as hard.
Right.
Oh, he does it naturally. No, he's in the gym, man.
Right.
And they're doing it from sun up to sundown to bring it to you to make it look effortless.
Exactly.
And you can see it all pays off in them because the band is always ready. And when I first started watching him on the Purple Rain tour live, and he would call off the number and say, "Give me 2 times" and all that. And I was thinking James Brown, and I was thinking Ohio players a little bit too.
Right.
But no one else was doing that except him.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, dude, you guys got to be ready to go when you get up there with him.
And I think it was Levi said that. Levi said that, and I think it's on the Little Diamonds and Pearls VHS. He said that the one thing that he hated, because before working with Prince, he could learn the show and then just go and have fun. But working with Prince, you had to always keep your eyes on Prince because you never knew when the change was going to come.
A lot of people get mad at me, and that's okay. But a lot of people get mad at me because I'll say, look, when you have the conversation of a Mr. Jackson show against a Prince show, with Mr. Jackson's show, you've seen one on that tour, you've seen the tour. That's it. Right. It doesn't have a lot of room of variation. Prince, you don't know what you're gonna see.
This is a little hyperbole, but Prince was one of the few artists who could walk on stage and say, "Tonight, I'm gonna do 6 songs you ain't never heard before, and you ain't gonna ever hear again." He was one of the very few people who could do that. We got some passes here. Tell me what you think about them all access passes.
You know, that's a new look for me. I haven't seen these before. I used to collect my little lanyards and passes too, but these are new. I like them though. I like them.
So shout out to Prof Duff. I like the cherries there. I like the cherries there. Prince always, pushing the envelope. Let me see what else we got. There we go. All right, so now we got. Look at Prince and Wendy just giving you the show, just giving you all of the show, right? And it's just a master performer, and that's for me. Like I said, I love everything that the estate is doing. I just want the estate to go even a little bit harder on showing the world what a great live performer Prince is. What do you think about this pick before we go on to some more?
You know, the estate has so much footage in concerts. Like, what are you waiting on? Let's go. Let's get this out there, man. You know, I don't know how they're doing what they're doing, and I'm sure they have a path to do what they're trying to do and get where they're trying to go. But let's go, man. Let's get this stuff out here. Look at that.
Yeah. Love this, man. Love that. But this one here, I mean, that's right there. That's classic Prince. Look at the design. Look at the shade. Boy got the hair laid. I mean, this is look here. This is, people talk about Just Purple Rain as peak of Prince's power, but I like to say the peak of Prince's powers lasted 10, 12 years. I mean, when you're talking about, like, it wasn't no one shot peak. So thanks to Prof Duff for digging these picks up. Go ahead, brother. Big Say.
It's like you said. A lot of people will say, "Oh, well, he peaked at Purple Rain," and when they say that to me, that just shows me that they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Because that may have been his biggest selling album. Okay, fine, but you can't take that long of a years of just being on top of things, and you would see it at. He wouldn't even have an album out. And the Grammys would say, "Look, Prince, give us album of the year," and he'd come out, and the building would stop. Stop. Exactly. And I forget the person he gave it to. I think it was Beck one year. He gave it to Beck, and Beck freaked out, and he gave it to another group called Gotye. Help me with that name, somebody in the chat. He gave it to them. And they're like, "Well, Prince just gave us this."
Right.
He was still that dude.
That's it.
Okay, that's just how it is. And you need to respect that. And people just try to narrow it down and bottle him into 1984. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, he was. Oh man, these are just really, really. Shout out to Prof Duff for giving us all these really kind of classic shots. Classic. This is one that's been seen a lot. This is one that circulates a lot, but I love it because again, it shows Prince in motion. Like I said, I'm one of those people that I always want to give props to Prince being a child of James Brown, and that Prince. If you don't see Prince as a dancer, I think you're missing out. And again, there are levels to this, but I think that Prince, just as the overall showman, and just a person who could move and take command of a stage. I mean, look at that. Because what you're getting is that shot I love, because what you're getting is you're getting Prince the Funketeer, but you also getting Prince the Jokester, right? Some of y'all may not know Anansi. And so Anansi was the trickster in the African lore. Prince was the great Anansi. Shout out to Brother Scott Woods for his great presentation during the symposium, right? On Prince as the trickster, right? All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to read a review of the show, but before that, I want to get into some of the folks. Let me do this. There we go. So Brother Staley was telling us, I think he was telling us that the Earth, Wind, and Fire. Are you telling us the Earth, Wind, and Fire one comes out June 7th? Cool. We'll be checking that one out. Brother Chris Christian says that one of his first 12 events. There we go. Let me see here. That's all right. So yes, it's the Earth, Wind, and Fire is coming out on June 7th.
Correct, right? Mundo.
There you go. And is that Questlove doing a little wink coming it out on June 7th? You think Questlove is You think Questlove is trying to, a little what we call an Easter egg, a little, like
it wouldn't surprise me.
I just realized that, right? Rockabye, if you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say to that quote. If you know, you know, right? All right. What else we got? Let me see what else we got coming. Let me see here. Say June 3rd at the Tribeca Festival, June 7th streaming. Appreciate it. Rockabye saying the parade gig musically was a rhythm and blues band in the spirit of the best chess. That's that Purple Review. You have hit the bullseye. Yes. In fact, I remember if you got the Mojo, the 86 Mojo interview, right? There are actually 2 days. And so Billy goes back, I think the next day, and Billy actually says Prince is doing a James Brown and the Famous Flames. Like that comes out of Billy Sparks' mouth that Prince is doing James Brown and the Famous Flames, right? Yes, Sister Karan, HBO Max. I always have to get that right there at that Max there. Let me see what else we got going on here. Black Bears coming to the house. What's up? What's up? Sneaking into the place, right? Yes, those Princeton suits wear help knock out the character of the Purple Rain era. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Right. Love that the whole band, right? Look chic. Let me see here. All right. Does the fact that the late announcements of the hit and run flows and minimum press dates and interviews affect the under the chairman ticket sales seems like poor management decisions? And these 68, and that's what Brother Tudahl is saying in the book, that it seems that they could never come to a consensus of if they were going to tour or not, right? I think that's what Eric was saying. Mm-hmm. Eric was saying one day they were going to tour, one day they weren't going to tour. So I think that a tour being up in the air, if they were going to tour. So I think that Prince was really trying to think about how he was going to move forward with his new look and his new sound, right? There we go, Sister Edwards. Yes, Wendy looking very nice. And I'm glad you said that. Like Wendy was looking like a fashion model in one of those, and that wasn't normally how Wendy presented, right? Wendy was a punk rock, right? Wendy was a rock person, right? She always presented as a rock person. So to see her be a little bit more elegant, right, in the black dress, right? Yeah, she was really stepping out, right? Says Sister Chanel says she still salty that the DC Maryland area didn't get to see. Hey, look here, me, you, and everybody else. Cause living in Mississippi, I knew we weren't gonna get it big sexy, but I just knew that either Atlanta or New Orleans was gonna get it. And when Atlanta or New Orleans didn't get a hit and run show, I was just like Sister Chanel. I was 38 hot, as my granddaddy said. All right. Thank you, Sister El Michelle, Big Sexy, saying that she appreciates you the story there. Yes, indeed, Rockabye. Bobby's drumming sounded so crisp on that. All right, let me see that. Yep, only 2 shows in the same venue. All right. So okay. So I think I'm getting caught up. There's our faithful leader. She said, there we go. So thank you very much for. I hope I finally got that right. Do the full screen with people. It's 1 or 2 buttons on the screen. There we go. So y'all show some love for Prof Duff for putting this together and for letting us always be able to enjoy all this. Let me see what we got here. Prince was the most dynamic. There we go, of the 80s. I'm with you. I think it was of all people, it was Nelson George who said this. Nelson George said, of the 80s, Michael Jackson, Prince, Bruce Springsteen, Whitney. Prince was probably the most complete live performer.
Oh, yeah.
He was a singer and he was a dancer. So when you went to a Prince show, you got musicianship, you got dancing, and you got singing. There were very few people in the 80s and 90s who was giving you all that. What say you, Big Sexy?
Springsteen's band was and is just, and I don't mean when I say just to diminish him in any way, but they're just a bar band on a big stage.
Yep.
And that's okay. That's okay. Yep. Prince, like, we're not doing that. We're gonna do the whole production. We're doing the famous flames. We're going to give it all to you and be of the mindset of follow that.
There we go. And we will have one little dear state moment, right? Put out the Detroit birthday concert. Look, here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we get a super deluxe for Parade.
Yes.
I'm hoping 2 or 3 things. I'm hoping we get a super deluxe for Parade. I'm hoping some of the songs that was on the Sign of Time Deluxe gets transferred over to the Parade, although I know that's not likely, but I think that's where some of those songs belong. I hope we get the Detroit birthday show. I hope we get the Boston show, and I hope we get the Sweden show. Because I think the suite of the UK shows, and you guys in the chat, I know D68 and Sneak. What's up, brother Sneak? I saw you. I didn't get a chance to shout you out. So some of y'all, I always thought that the Sweden show is the best UK show, but y'all, well, I ain't gonna say best. The Sweden show is my favorite UK show. So y'all let me know which of y'all think is the best UK show. But I would love for a special deluxe, which would have the birthday. And by the way, the full birthday show, not just what was shown on the Japan television show, because they didn't show Soft and Wet. Soft and Wet is part of that show. So we want the full Detroit birthday show. I would like the Boston show because that one just cranks with fire. And I would like the Sweden show, but y'all put in the chat and y'all let me know. Big Sexy, you let me know which shows that you think you would like to have if we get a Parade Super Deluxe.
Yeah, we need to do that because you mentioned the phrase super deluxe. Recently, Kiss put out a couple of super deluxes for individual albums, but the thing was they have 2 or 3 shows in that package. So why can't we do the same thing here? We got the Super Deluxe Parade. Here's this show. Oh, you didn't see that show? Well, here's this show. Didn't like that one either? Okay, how about here's that show? Because I guarantee you they're not going to be the same. Put them out, let us, the consumer, do what we do. We consume. Give us what we want, and everyone will be happy.
There we go. So I just want to get us caught up on. There we go. Sneak 22 and Non-City Spider. I knew somebody out there was gonna be up with me, right? Right. I love this quote, Rocket Boss. Made us think about them house parties, right? Got a few Anansi folk, right? Definitely that wink the Prince putting it on June the 6th. Want to make sure I just get caught up with everybody. Let me see here. Let's see here. I was a little behind the stream, but I love the point you made about Prince being able to go to stage and pull off random songs. There we go. Sister L, TP, improvisation
is
shout out to Scott McCullough and all of the great work that he did. Right? What is he saying? Silly face has on point, looking like. Appreciate your brother Scott. Trying to do the pencil in mustache. Look here. I'm ready for my close up, Mr. DeVille. Right there we go. All right. All right, people. I love this. Brother LTKK said Michael Jackson shows were the peak of professional perfection, and Prince's shows was the peak of creative freedom. But they both were perfect in their own. Like I love that, brother. Thank you.
I give him that. Yeah.
Right. So there we go. Thank you, Sister Karan. Maybe we'll see those concerts at Celebration. If y'all haven't got your Celebration tickets, make sure you get your Celebration tickets. Right. All right. There we go. That's right. Prop Dust, she peeking in, making sure. Look at she doing the Prince. She flying from Nice to Minneapolis. Prop Dust is flying from Nice to Minneapolis, making sure. Right. 2, 3, 4 cut. Oh Lord. See, Liz, your shoes on too tight or something. You're gonna make the stream look bad. There we go. So just want to make sure we get everybody caught up, making sure. I hadn't. Brother Wayward, we didn't get no brother. Just saw Brother Wayward sticking in, so sneaking in and getting some love. So I just want to make sure I'm giving everybody some love. And Brother JD is giving you some heads up on saying he agreed with you on the Kiss thing. That Kiss, did a very good job of filling out their catalog and making it. There we go. Thank you, Sister L. Michelle Deal State. Free the rehearsal and the live footage for Celebration. There we go. We'll make sure I'm getting caught up. All right. So let me.
I think I'm gonna need a drink.
All right. Can everybody see? Can everybody see the? So this is the review of the Warfield show, and so I'm going to try to read the review of the Warfield show. Prince's Mature Eroticism by David Armstrong. All righty. And says pandemonium may be too mild a word to describe the mood at Prince's sold out show at the Warfield Theater last night. Delirium comes a bit closer, and euphoria is better still. Simply put, Prince tore it up. The show, Prince's third recent Bay Area appearance, but his first full scale performance here in a year and a half, took a lot longer to play than it did to sell out. Right when tickets went on sale just 3 days ago, at the 2,000 plus seats at the Warfield were wrapped up within 20 minutes. Wow! So, but Big Sexy took 20 minutes to sell the tickets, and they did a 2 hour show. Right?
You got your money worth.
There you go. Such a measure of the diminutive but dynamic rock and soul stars' popular appeal. Performing last night for 2.5 hours, including a long encore, the Minnesota entertainer put a crack band through its paces. The 11-piece group, large for a rock band, but not especially big for the soul reviews that are its obvious antecedents. See, everybody's picking up on that. Didn't miss a beat. A dip of the Royal One's shoulder, and the audience got a funky drum solo. A wave of his hand, and the horn section punched out brassy rhythms. Prince and his group. He was backed by his band, The Revolution, plus additional musicians hired for the gig. Nope, not hired for the gig. They are now officially the Counter Revolution. Drew on a but this writer wouldn't have known that. So drew on a wide range of material. His emphasis was on recent albums such as last year's Around the World in a Day and the current hit Parade. Most of his selections were steaming soul jams and well-played mid-tempo stuff, but he quieted the crowd by playing a ballad or two at the piano, including Under the Cherry Moon, the title song from his coming movie. Prince isn't an original songwriter or performer. Wait a minute, let me make sure I get that right. Prince isn't an original songwriter or performer. Don't know if I agree with that. His screaming electric guitar riffs are borrowed from Jimi Hendrix and the Isley Brothers. I wouldn't say borrowed, I would say influenced, but hey, that's just me. Many of his hot dance steps and cool moves with the microphone were derived from James Brown. His foppish image is a latter day version of Little Richard. And Prince's singing, especially his falsetto and soul shriek, is the old style directly traceable to the gospel tradition. His lyrics, often sexually explicit and nearly always insinuating, aren't especially well thought out of. I completely disagree with that. And a lot of them are sexist and puerile. Yeah, okay. I mean, all right. I'm not gonna tell anybody what to feel. There's a guy who does Jackson State Sports named Ken Clark. He said, "I ain't gonna tell you what you didn't see, so I ain't gonna tell you what you didn't hear." Those qualities, unfortunately, came through very clearly in his mashup hit, the 1984 movie Purple Rain. The picture portrayed some rock scene makers as barely one step removed from pimps, and two men, not Prince himself, were shown dumping a woman in a trash bin. Hey, she annoyed them. I mean, okay, let's move on. But if he's often macho and usually derivative, Prince is still an authentic talent, as he showed again last night. So I guess the point is that Prince is able to borrow from the past and create his own thing. The raunch of the past performances, while hardly missing, was tempered in his Warfield show. Prince displayed a more mature eroticism conveyed through supple movements and his caressing falsetto. Switching easily from funk to rock to gospel to jazz tinged pop, Prince also showed that he has absorbed, not just copied, thank you very much, has absorbed, but not just copied his many influences. The result is an engaging hybrid that, when matched with his dynamic stage presence, produces a well-defined personal style. Very good. I always say Prince is an amalgamation. He's a gumbo. And what I like about amalgamation is you can't tell where one thing ends and another one begins, and therefore he's all his own self. Right? The The Whip It Lean performer and his band, drums, keyboards, bass, guitars, horns, and flutes, and the three men in tuxedos and who matched the star bump for bump and grind for grind, started off with Christopher Tracy's Parade before an audience that was on his feet, for an audience that was on his feet for the first notes. They whipped through Pop Life, a functionary version of Raspberry Beret, America, Prince's muddy tribute to the USA, Life Can Be So Nice, and Girls and Boys, among many others. The band excelled on Another Level Hole in Your Head, one of the strongest songs on Parade. Then slowed things down with Purple Rain, the closest thing to an anthem that Prince has written. I don't know. I would say 1999 and Free, but hey, that's just me. He brought out Sheila E. for a Love Bizarre in the encore, did a brief version of Whole Lot of Shaking Going On, and left the crowd screaming for more. Through it all, Prince dashed about the stage, danced on the piano, climbed up and jumped from the mountains of amplifiers, left the stage several times to slap fire with fans, toss hankies, pendants, and tambourines into the audience, and changed clothes 4 times. It was exhausting just watching him. Still, at the end, stripped to the waist and sopping wet, Prince seemed barely out of breath. Ain't nobody finer than y'all, he yelled to the crowd. Funny, they were just thinking the same about him. That's a pretty decent review. I think it's a pretty decent review. So let me go up. Big Sexy, what did you think about the review? And then I'm gonna go to some of the folks. Let me
I'm
see.
not familiar with the actual author of the piece, but Rocca points out that the writer seems to have seen Jimmy Isley and Little Richard in their heyday, which is very possible, and so he's comparing him to that paradigm. And for me, when you mention the Isleys, Ernie doesn't get nearly the shine he should get as a guitar player.
Yes.
Ernie is bad, and he just doesn't get that shine, which is not cool. But when you're comparing anyone to people in that pantheon, that just tells you you're on the right track. When you get compared to the great ones, yeah, it means you're doing okay. And I didn't care for the little foppish phrase. If anything, that just dates him.
Right.
Uh-oh. The boss is spoken.
Yeah, the boss is checking in on us.
$5, Marcus. $5.
Go ahead and continue. Let me see here. I'm just looking. I'm gonna get us caught up on them.
Okay. And with that tour, and one thing I was going to mention earlier, as we all know, Prince would bring people up in the later years and all that. And if he had brought up people during that tour, now I'm like Tito Jackson. I'm not the best dancer out there, but had they done the girls and boys, you could have told me up there.
Right.
My one step. Uh-oh. See, there she goes.
There we go. Let me see what we got here.
Her doctor's a quack.
Right.
Get rid of him. He's a quack.
There we go. Appreciate you, Anna B. I just want to try to get us all there we go, Estate. Please drop this show. So let's get this. So I want to get to what people saying. This is what I'm talking about with these critics. Some of them have really been on some BS for a long time, especially when it comes to funk and R&B. I'm kind of with you, Dr. Claw. And I think, like you said, it's, I think overall it's a pretty good review. I think you leave with the person really respecting Prince. But, I think sometimes people, you tell me about this, Big Sex. I think there's a difference between giving people an overall historical component versus trying to show how smart you are. And I think sometimes journalists cross the line of I'm gonna place Prince within history. In fact, I will tell everybody there's a great essay called Tradition and the Individual Talent by T.S. Eliot. And it's basically advice. It's advice to poets, but all artists can take this advice. Where T.S. Eliot says the job of the artist is to learn everything that came before you, so that you can restructure it and create your own place in the canon. And so I think that a lot of times the journalists are starting with history, but they want to show how smart they are. And by showing how smart they are, they sometimes overstep the line, and it becomes something that it really shouldn't be. Right? Go ahead, Big Say.
If you're gonna take any artist and you want to lay a historical roadmap, to show from where we got to where this artist is, I have no problem with that.
Right.
But when you come along and just rip an artist, and this guy didn't rip Prince,
right?
When you just want to rip an artist just because it's not your cup of tea, that's not the job of the reviewer.
Right.
To review what you see and what you hear.
Right.
It's okay to say, hey, it wasn't for me. Maybe my kids will like it. That's fine. But
right.
Just come out and rip something. Nah, that's not cool.
Right.
That's not cool because it shows, again, you're trying to be the smartest guy in the room when you're not.
Right.
When you're not. And just nobody cares about that. Tell us what we missed and what we missed out on by not being there that night. Tell us about the show. And a lot of people will miss that. And sometimes you get cats who are locked into a genre.
Right.
And then it's like we have them go out of that comfort zone to review something out of that area. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
And it comes across as bitter and ill-informed and not cool.
Right. And Sister Chanel, you are right on the bullseye. Sign me up. I ain't got but a few pennies. But if the state want to have a streaming platform for live shows, I will definitely sign up. So, dear estate, let me do this right here. Let me see something here. Let me take that down just for a second. Dear estate, please create a streaming platform with all the Prince's live tours. There are a lot of people who will gladly throw money at y'all for a streaming platform, and we need it in both audio and video. You want an audio streaming platform and a video streaming platform. You can charge us something per month, $9.99 a month, right? $19.99 a month, and I guarantee you, folks will pay that. All right, so I just wanted to say that. Want to get some more stuff. I'm with you, LTKK, right? There's a difference between taking from and paying homage. Want to go, let's see here. There we go. I did with absorption. There we go. Want to just make sure. Yeah. And I will say the writer singer saying Jimmy, the eyes and lyrics in their heyday. I got it. And it goes both ways, Big Sexy. I got a like you, I got a couple of 1999 bootlegs, and there's on one of the bootlegs for 1999, one of the 1999 shows with Prince is at the piano doing a little piano melodies before he gets into How Come You Don't Call Me. And the guy, you can hear the guy in the crowd. And I want to say this, he was actually being complimentary. He wasn't mocking. And the guy says, oh, he got a little Richard in him. But the young sister didn't want to have none of that, Big Sexy. I mean, she said, nah. And the guy is trying to explain it. She said, no, ain't no little Richard here. Like, but the guy actually was a compliment. So sometimes it's the other way, where people who are in the now who don't know the history, and if you try to make the comparison, people want. But I always thought that was funny because Hunger, and you could tell by her voice, she was probably younger, so she was probably a younger sister who didn't get it. I love this. This is what I say. Yes, Prince is an amalgamation, right? Let me see something. Let's say. All right, there you go. Also take down the comments. Just click X. I've been having the comments up there too long. Appreciate you, boss. We're working through this, right? So very good. Let me see here. Just want to make sure I'm getting through all of the comments because we always say that you guys are much part of this show. So I think they got more pronounced in the parade days when he performed with the Revolution. Let me see here. I think I got everybody just getting caught up. Let me see here. Yeah, I think we're pretty caught up before we go on to, very good. So I want to thank you guys for always getting us. I'm not going to Kellogg though. So always getting us through this. So what I want to do now is All right. So we have 63. We are week 21 of 1986. Prince has had 63 studio sessions, 28 new songs, right? 3 live concerts. Here are the live concerts. Just checking to make sure everybody. And also, let me always keep doing that. There we go. My bad. I always keep forgetting to put the comments down. And so we have the 3 shows. We have the March 3rd show at First Avenue. That's the famous bootleg that we all have. It's good to know, Big Sexy, that because most of us, we had that bootleg and it was terrible, right? We watched it, but it was grainy. And so now that we know that the estate is showing it at Paisley Park, we know that there's a great copy of that.
We had an April 3rd copy, yeah.
There you go. April 3rd, the Metro, the Boston show, which again, that's one of my favorite shows. And then the Warfield show, right? So let's go on. 7 guest appearances total. And here are the guest appearances, right? He gave an award at the American Music Awards. That's when he popped out with Kendrick Lamar said sometimes you got to pop out and show him. So he had on the tux. I never forget, because my mama used to call Prince the little narrow booty pervert. And yeah, that's what my mama called him, that little narrow booty pervert. And when he showed up at the American Music Awards, my mom was like, that little narrow booty pervert got some regular clothes. Look at it. He should keep them on and stop showing this little narrow booty. So that was so shout out to my mama Claudia McInnes and saying that little narrow booty pervert had some regular clothes at the American Music Awards. He was at the Winter Carnival Fun Fair on Maserati stage, because he was with Sheila on March 6, 7, and 8 at the Universal Amphitheater and at the Warfield Theater, and then March 14th, and then March 8th, then May 14th, and then May 20th. And now it's time for the film break. So let me get caught up before we get to the film break to see, make sure I ain't missing nobody. Let me see here. Chris, when they said I couldn't stick to that objective type of review if I were to review some of the mediocre artists, I had today. Yeah, look at that's why with Big Sexy, when music changed, I said let me just write about the stuff I like, right? Since we now into the salon, DE68A is letting us know just for the info. On June 19th, Sheena Easton is releasing a 25-disc box set of singles, which includes Sugar Wall and Eternity. Look at this, Dear State. So if it's singles, I will have to say for Prof Duff, she hates. I think I want to get it right. The 7-inch edits. I think she thinks the 7-inch edits are a waste of time. So I don't know.
I'm with her on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if you want this, but I think that for newbies, this may be a good idea for newbies. Maybe I think that would be a good idea for newbies, right? Right. It's the leg shake, the swinging of the arm. That's right. Prince gives you the whole show, the streaming. Let me see what else. Just making sure I'm getting caught up with everybody. Big Sexy, you can jump in while I'm catching to make sure I'm getting caught up.
Okay. Shanice's got her gig coming out, and I know a lot of her stuff. Don't judge me, but I know a lot of her stuff.
My baby rides the morning train.
There you go.
If you grew up in the 70s and 80s, you knew who Sheena Easton was. There's a lot of people like, I don't know, if you grew up in the 70s, 80s, you knew who Sheena Easton was. Go ahead, Big Sexy.
I just didn't think she had 25 CDs worth of material, though.
There you go. Well, I think it's all 25 singles.
Oh,
I mean, 25 CDs of singles. Let me
I stand corrected.
Let me go. Not what I'm saying, though. Let me see. Let me make sure
you got 25 singles, definitely.
Let me know. Let me make sure. But that's still right. A big feat. 25 CDs with singles on them.
Yes, it is.
I can't find it.
And the thing is, when she, like you said, when she first came out, she was all, maybe take the morning train and, when he shines and all that. And then 1984 comes along, and I hear it on the radio.
Right.
I'm like, who is this? Oh, this is Prince here. You knew it was Prince. And all of a sudden, here she comes with a vocal. I'm like, oh, Prince got to her. Okay, cool.
That's right. That's right. Well, here, look here. That was the whole point, right? He turned the good girl bad, right? And I know that some tunes still in there. My baby takes the morning train. He works from 9 to 5 again. But don't act like y'all didn't know who she was. And the Chris Paul, you're right. The orchestrator, the originator, the emancipator, and you forgot one. And the architect, baby. It's all me. Prince just me. Mike just me. They all just me. Amen to Little Richard. The king. There we go. Shut up. There we go. Much love to Little Richard. So Web Diva is agreeing with Prof Duff that on the 7-inch, she was so disappointed by the Purple Rain Super Deluxe because it had too many 7-inch versions. That's right. Don't nobody
exactly.
A lot of people
nobody give a shit about that.
Edits. All right. So now we are. Let me get that here. So now it's time for the film break. So let's talk about it. God Is. I have not had a chance to see it. Big Sexy, have you had a chance to see it?
I haven't heard of it. So
wait, hold on. You're right, Kim. I'm sorry, Kim. I'm tripping. Don't talk about the lover. Talk about the love in me. Sheenies and Babyface. That's hey. That was a jam too.
That was the cut.
That was a jam too. All right, now let's go. So has anybody seen Is Love Is? Anybody got any thoughts on it? I have not had a chance to see it yet. What about you, Big Sexy?
I'm completely unfamiliar with it. I only heard about it yesterday, actually. So I'd like to hear what the viewers and listeners have to say about it.
And I want people in the chat to let me know, because two things I am not. I am not a horror person.
Me neither.
You know something else I'm not, Big Sexy? I am not a big guts and gore person. Like anything with a lot of murder, a lot of stabbing, a lot of blood. That's why I'm not a big Quentin Tarantino fan. Like I've never seen Kill Bill because I can't make my way through it. It's just too much. I like Django. I want to be clear. I like Django Unchained. Django Unchained is a great movie, but just too much for me. All right, so we're getting some folks coming in. So, all right. Dr. Claus, he's not trying to see all that stuff. All right, so okay, thank you, Web Diva. She says that Is God Is great.
What's it about?
So it's okay. So y'all help me out. I think it's a revenge movie. So what's my girl? Shoot. I'm forgetting. But it's a revenge movie. And so essentially, a guy tried to kill his wife by burning up. And the wife who survived has instructed her 2 daughters to go kill his ass. And so it's a revenge tale. And I think one of the daughters kind of got burned too. So y'all let me know if I'm right on that. Vivica Fox, thank you. So Vivica Fox, and shout out to Vivica Fox. So she's in a complete burn suit, Big Sexy. So you can barely recognize her. And she has. And Sterling, thank you. Sterling K. Brown, wonderful actor. He's playing the father who burned her. And so she has instructed the 2 daughters to find this fool and
burn his ass up.
Yeah, so you know what, Sister Kim? It depends. I'm trying to think of other revenge films or what would be a revenge film that I like. So y'all put in the chat, what are some revenge films? And I'll let y'all know if I like it, right? Let me see. There we go. It's a revenge tale. All right, Brother Lee, we appreciate you being out. I know you be working. Thank you for letting us know, Vivica Fox. There we go. Sterling K. So he was evil. Okay, so he was playing the villain. All right. So y'all put in there in the okay, Coffee. Okay. I guess they would see that as a revenge film. I like Coffee. So Coffee was good. All right. So anybody else? El Michelle is with me. She said she don't want to see all that. But from what I'm hearing, the acting is good. The writing is good. Have not seen this one, brother JD. Lisa, I don't remember seeing High Plains Drifter.
Wasn't that Eastwood?
Oh, I may have been. If it's Eastwood, I may have seen High Plains Drifter. Okay. There we go. Revenge with Kevin Costner, Madeline stuff. Madeline stuff. I have not seen Revenge. Have not seen that. And don't take my black card, y'all. Have not seen Widows. Have not seen Widows with Viola Davis. So I guess I'm not a big revenge person. I guess, right? Okay. So
I did see the movie bad.
I saw this as a child. Ooh. That movie scared the hell out of me. When she sold homeboy in the bed. So if y'all ain't seen it, she sold his drunk ass in the bed. And look here, that movie scared me to death. Okay, Hang 'em High. Hang 'em High is good. Have not seen any of the John Wicks. What about you, Big Sexy?
That's the revenge flick, the first one especially.
Okay.
You can't take a man's car and then kill his dog. You just can't do that.
There you go. Only reason I haven't seen Kill Bill because it's too much blood and gore. I tried to watch it, but it's too much stabbing and blood for me. But okay, there we go. All right, so cool, people. So we're all right. So very good. So everybody, please go out and support Is God Is. Everybody in chat who's seen it is saying it's great. They're saying it's fire. Have not seen Ma with Octavia Spencer. I did. It was a series though. It was a series. What's the series I saw? That's a revenge series. Man, anybody can? I know. Yeah, everybody saw Death Wish. Yeah, Michelle. Look at if you all look. I'm gonna show my age. Yeah, I saw Death Wish. Is it true that Death Wish was either written by a black guy or written for a black guy originally? Does anybody know if Death Wish was either written by a black guy or written for a black guy? Y'all let me know. But I'm trying. Who seen the series about a young lady, young black girl? She went to a private school and she was bullied in the private school, and as a revenge tale, everybody who bullied her was killed. But there's a twist as who did the killing. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna give it away, but it's a series. I think it's about 6 or 7 shows. The little black girl, she went to a prestigious private school, and the sister from Creed, the sister who plays the love interest in Creed, what's her name? She stars in it. Who can tell? Y'all tell me? The sister who played the love interest in Creed, what's her name? She stars in this show. So she is the little girl who was bullied, and she goes on to be a journalist, and so she covered Tessa Thompson. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Tessa Thompson. Thank y'all, Tessa Thompson. So she stars in. Has anybody seen that it's a series, and the kids who bullied her are one by one killed, but it's a twist at the end and who does the killing, and that's good, by the way. So yeah, I have seen that one. I just wish I could remember the name of it. And so Tessa Thompson is the producer of Is God Is. Very good. Very good. Exactly, Sister Karan. There's a twist at the end. That's all we're going to say. His and Hers. That's the name of it. His and Hers. So, yeah, so I saw His and Hers. It's a revenge series, and I love that. All right. So, there we go. Thank y'all. His and Hers. All right. Let's go on. How many of y'all have seen I Love Boosters? I'm going to say something about this, Big Sexy, then I'm going to open up the floor
Let it rip.
you all. When I first heard about this film, I wasn't sure I wanted to see it because I didn't know if it was going to glorify shoplifting. Like I didn't want to, I said, I don't want to see anything, but here's what got me to now want to see it. Number one, I love Boots Riley. For those of y'all who don't know, Boots Riley is an MC, actor, and filmmaker. What I love about Boots Riley, and I want to say this carefully, if you watch any of Boots Riley's films, he's always making what I call existential films. And when I say what I mean when I say he makes existential films, he always makes films that shows how capitalism puts people in precarious positions. And so that you can't go with who is the antagonist and who is the protagonist. Essentially, Boots Riley's films are a critique of capitalism in a way that the capitalists always exploit and take advantage of people. And then when the people fight back, the capitalists want to criminalize them. And so I think that's what Boots Riley is doing with Boosters, in that the fashion world has made a living off stealing from Black culture. And it's ironic that the fashion world can steal from Black culture, yet when these Black people steal back from them, it's the Black people who are criminalized and not Black culture. So I think that's what Boosters, I love Boosters, is about. Big Sexy, what say you, and what say you guys in the chat?
Well, I didn't know we were having film review today, because otherwise I would have seen it. You break it down for me very, very succinctly. If it's about people going out there and shoplifting and all that, I'm a little hesitant about it. But if there's a message, right, and they point to it, right, and if these people who are doing all the stealing are targeting this one, if there's only one, designer who's ripping off Black culture to make a point, do what you got to do. Right. Go do what you got to do. But again, like you said, though, when the mass media gets a hold of a story like that, they're not going to focus on why it's being done. All they're going to say is, "Oh, a bunch of niggas are stealing from the store." That's all they do. Right. You have to look past the obvious and see, why this is happening.
Right. Exactly. So we got, I think somebody was talking about another one that Boots' works to click. So Chanel says the actors in Boots Riley, that's the attraction, not the story.
You have some good actors in there. That's true.
There's also because Keke Palmer's in there, and I love Lakeith Stanfield. So Lakeith Stanfield, and Lakeith Stanfield, his acting methodology is perfect for existential work. So he's always really good, right? Let me see. Want to make sure. But yeah, he's also a good MC. Check out The Coop. All right, very good. All right, so check out that. Let me see what else we have. So now it's time for the music break.
Time for a breakdown.
All right.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
All right, and so this is those of us who don't live in New York City. Y'all get all this free music in the summer. So it's the Brick Celebrate Brooklyn. Coming up is the Summer Music Fest. So you guys are going to be able to check that out. Brick Celebrate Brooklyn, opening night, Sheila E. and Leon Knight and DJ Spinner. So y'all can go. In fact, let me do this right here. That way folks can see everything. So I'll go back. We got Celebrate Brooklyn. We got the Brick Celebrate Brooklyn opening night. So this is going to be June 4th. All right. This lets you know all of the people who are going to be there. Prof Duff letting us know that Sheila is going to be there. Infinity Song is going to be there. Patti LaBelle is going to be there. Thank you for that. And then in July, Cindy Blackman and Santana is going to be there along with some other folks. I was trying to see if there's any other people that I would know. Who's going
DJ Gravy's in the building. Come on now.
So DJ Gravy, okay. Tell me a little bit about DJ Gravy.
I wish I could.
All right, and then in August, Brick is gonna salute Aaliyah. That's very, very good. Lyricist Lounge. Y'all drop something in the chat for the Lyricist Lounge, right? How many of y'all remember the Lyricist Lounge? Like, drop something in the chat for the Lyricist Lounge. And Common is gonna be there. Thank you, Prof Dust, for giving me those cues to let me know to highlight them folks. Then also May through October 2026, you got Summer Stage 40, and it's gonna be a whole lot of people there. Let me go through it and see if I can pick out a few people. CL Smooth is gonna be there. Just Dougie Fresh is gonna be there. De La Soul is gonna be there. Trying to see some other folk. Who I would know. Who that?
Lettucey.
Good. Okay.
Okay, we got some people here.
All right. The Voice of Miles Davis, a symphonic celebration like that. So y'all please check that out. And free events in all 5 boroughs. Again, we hate you New York City people getting the free music. Also, you got the Blue Note Jazz Festival, Summer Stage, part of Summer Stage. Shabaka, Coco Roco, Omar. I will say that this stream, brother, Big Sexy, got me hip to Omar. I did not know Omar before this stream, and then love it. So very good. At the Apollo X Summer Stage, gonna have Bilal. Everybody know that Prof Duff loves her son Bilal. So shout out to Bilal and Prof Duff loving her son Bilal. Gina, DJ Tara, so y'all can go check them out. Mavis Staples. I'm so glad Mavis Staples is still out there. It's gonna be with Brother Wallace. So please, if you can, go check out Mavis Staples. And then June 1st through July 1st, you got New York City 2026 15th anniversary. Let us see. Duran Bernard is gonna be there. Take 6 is gonna be there. So many great folk are going.
Arrested Development.
Yes, Arrested Development is going to be there. Harlem, the Harlem Gospel Choir is going to be there. Then you got June 13th through 14th. You got the Blue Night Jazz Festival again. Patti LaBelle, Wyclef Jean. So glad that Patty's still out there doing their thing. Coco Roco again. Herbie Hancock Institute of Jazz Performance Ensemble at UCLA is gonna be there, right? So many great folks. It's gonna be hosted by Arsenio Hall. And if you I ain't on the screen, but Big Sex, I got my one finger pointed up, my one index finger is pointing up for Arsenio Hall. Get it up for Arsenio and the dog pound. Right. Also, give it up for Bilal. Bilal, the European Summer 2026 tour is gonna be through July. He's gonna be out there, and then the U.S. Fall Festival through September. So July and September. July you can catch him in Europe. September you can catch him in America. Brother Bilal, and then of course you got Flying Lotus. Flying Lotus is gonna be Blue Note coast to coast. So they're gonna be in New York and in Los Angeles. So they'll be in New York July 8th and 9th, and Los Angeles July 11th and 12th. And everybody know that Prof Duff loves her some Alice Smith. Hey, Big Sexy, these shows were sold out. They had to add shows.
What?
Yeah, they had to add more shows. And I think they about to sell out and they about to add some more shows. So if you're trying to get your Alice Smith tickets, you better not be hemming and hawing because they sold out. They may not add no more. So y'all better get these tickets because they ain't playing. Then of course nothing compares to you, the celebration of life and legacy. So Brother Bilal in September 25th at the Ford Theater, he's going to do a Prince tribute show. And I can't think of anyone better than to do a Prince tribute show than Brother Bilal. I'm going to stop before we get to the purple word just to see if you want to add anything. Let's see if anybody said anything about some of these shows. See if you want to add something. Because we're making good time. We're going to be out of here by 2 o'clock Eastern time. Let me see here.
One thing that caught my attention about Bilal, he's going to be in San Francisco on September 22nd. And I don't know if the D'Angela, the boss, the professor, has done an interview with him. So why don't I reach out to him and see if we can set that up?
Yes. I would love for Prof Duff to interview Bilal either on What Did Prince Do This Week or as a separate thing. So yes, do that, Big Sexy.
Yeah, let's see what we can do about
that. Get that set out, right? Somebody give a shout out to Leon Knight. Also spending my main man 50 grand. There we go. All right. Leon Knight is hilarious. Very good. There we go. Let me see. Just want to make sure. Okay, so I was trying to make sure everybody can see. Okay, my bad, boss. My bad. I was trying to make sure everybody could see the writing. So I definitely, there we go. That's the doc, right? So I'll make sure next time don't take both of us off the screen. There we go. I didn't think about that like it's television. You do need to see people on the show, right? I didn't see that. I didn't think about that. You do need to see the people on the show. All right. So somebody showing some love to the Most Def Lyrics Lounge, right? The Lyrics Lounge was high. I wanted to see if people was gonna show some love to the Lyrics Lounge. All right.
Didn't you mention Cindy Blackman
Yes.
earlier?
Yes.
She's got an album coming out with Arianthe, and I think the bass player on that is going to be Rhonda.
Oh, cool.
I think.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Jack, help me out. But it's going to be produced by legendary producer Eddie Kramer. So I'm all over that when it comes out.
Good deal. Good deal. And somebody said they saw Mavis Davis. Yeah. It's been about 5-6 years since I saw Mavis Davis, so it's good to hear her voice. It's still strong, still good out there. Omar pop up with Natasha Diggs and Soul in the Horn. Very good. Just want to make sure somebody's giving a shout out to Gregory Porter. Just want to make sure I am. Let's see here. Sister Kim is Give It Up to Donna performing the colored section tomorrow during the Atlanta Jazz Festival. Very good. Very good. Just one. All right. All right. So now, hold on.
Uh-oh.
I want to make sure. There we go. Purple World. All right. So we got the Dance On, the Prince Conference. These folk have been doing it Big Sexy probably since 2017. So they are pros at this. If whether or not you're presenting or not, they always put together great presentations. June 1st through the 2nd. It's hosted by the International Center for Print Studies. They do great work. I hate that I can't be there. I'm going to be somewhere else. Well, I'm actually going to be teaching in June. I teach at in a science and a literature and science program in June. So I hate that I'm going to miss it. But if you guys can get there, definitely check them out. If you love the Prince Symposiums by Prof. Duff, these people they do an equally great job. Of course, got to give Celebration love. Got to give Celebration love. We know who's going to be there. Let's put in the chat who got their Celebration tickets. Big Sexy, what you got to say about Celebration? Who got their Celebration tickets?
You know, I have not been to one yet. And this one, I don't know, man. I don't know. When I go, I want to go, and I'm going to, you know me, I'm going to do it right. But I want to see something new, you know? Mm-hmm. I want to see something new and something different, and I want to be blown away. Now, granted, I would love to see Jam and Lewis, but I need more than that.
There you go. Well, I mean, I think I'm with you on that. I think they're putting together, they're trying to raise the bar. We appreciate the estate. I have not gone. Only reason I haven't gone Big Sexy is that I'm just not ready to go back to Paisley Park without Prince being there. That's the only reason I haven't gone. You know, I got to work with Prince for 18 months between 2002 and 2004. I got to go to Paisley Park a few times, and I think that I like what the estate is doing. My favorite thing about what the estate is doing is they're showing the live streaming of the shows. We're getting more and more live streaming Prince shows. I love the fact that Tevin Campbell is going to be there. Of course, I love the fact that Morris Day and Time is going to be there. So that's the only reason I haven't gone, is that I'm just not ready to go back. But I'm so glad to all the people who regularly go. I'm so glad to you guys who show, as we say, show up and show out. And so I want everybody to keep showing up, showing out, because as long as the estate is making money, they can keep giving us new stuff. So we want people going. So we're going to see people putting there. Sister Christina, she got a ticket celebration. Very good. Brother Paul is saying that he wants to catch it 1 year. Sister Karan, yep, hubby and I, they got him. There you go. And I love that couples are going to Celebration Big Sexy. I love that families are going. One of my favorite pictures is a picture of Brother Ricky Wyatt and his family at Paisley Park, right? Probably when my grandchildren get a little bit older, Big Sexy, Paisley Park will probably be our Disney World, right? Instead of taking my grandchildren to Disney World, I'm gonna take my grandchildren to Paisley Park. So when they get a little bit older, I'll probably take my grandchildren to Paisley Park rather than Disney World. I appreciate you, Sister Kim.
I'll probably do one at some point
Right.
I will probably take a trip to Paisley by myself. No one will know. Just go out there on a slow day.
Right.
And just do the VIP tour and just take it in just for me.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to a celebration.
So let me do this right quick before we go. Folks who've gone to celebration, put in the chat your favorite celebration moment. Just quickly. Doesn't have to be a long thing. Just because we want to hype people up to go to celebration. So for those of you who've been to celebration, drop in the chat quickly. What's been your favorite celebration moment, right? What's the favorite thing that you enjoy? It could just be meeting other Prince fans. It could be the live shows. Oh, and also the great thing about celebration, it is about doing the stuff around the city. Because don't forget, you have what's happening in Paisley Park, but there's a lot of stuff happening in Minneapolis around the city. So that's also, from what I hear about people, a great thing about celebration. Appreciate you there, Drea Dancers. I thank you so much for that. Let me see here. The Glam Slam show with the MPG on stage. Thank you, Web Diva. Very good. Very good. Who else? Somebody give us a couple more favorite celebration moments. What were some of y'all favorite things about being at celebration, right? And Kim is saying she agree with you, Big Sex, about going and doing the tour. All right. Let's see what Sister Chanel. She says her favorite celebration moment was when she first arrived at Paisley Park for the very first time in her life in 2022. She was teary-eyed. I understand. I feel Sister Chanel. And that was probably the emotions of most of the folks. So we appreciate you sharing that with us. Sister Karan says 22, 23, 24 were fire. Now look,
damn,
that's all y'all need to know right there. 22, 23, 24 were fire. So build off that and go make 26 fire. So we appreciate that. Brother Vinay says meeting Billy Sparks at First Avenue during the 20th anniversary of Purple Rain. That was his favorite moment, right? Brother Andre says meeting and hanging out all 3 days with 2 fans from Australia. That is wonderful. Sister Cassandra said the first celebration 2017 because George Clinton was electric, right? Went to MPLS and there while he was there. Those were special. I hear you there, brother. D68A. Prince on the big screen, by far MPG. Very good. Very good. Brother Rodney saying that the 2001 having a conversation with Prince, the main thing is to reunite with the Purple Army. That's it. 22 and 24 was worth every dime. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for sharing those. All of it, meeting new Prince fans. I'm gonna stop on that one, man. Anytime y'all are the Prince fans, I wish I had in high school and college. So I Big Sexy, you are the Prince fan that I wish I had years ago, and all of y'all. Purple Cat Confetti says the tour of the immersive experience, 4th time being there, Saturday schedule full of downtown. Thank y'all so much. And then being in community in person was uplifting and inspirational with so many folks. So if nothing else, y'all, go to celebration and hang out with people who love Prince the way y'all love Prince. All right. So
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
And Questlove, I ain't forgot you yet, man. We don't talk. I'm sorry to put you on the spot here, but let me back up because I was not aware of this. You worked for Prince for 1.5 years?
Well, yeah. So my second book, The Lyrics of Prince, which is an analysis of Prince's lyrics, he liked it. And then after that came out, I wrote a review of The Rainbow Children that appeared in the Michigan Chronicle, of all places. So shout out to Detroit. Brother Andre, let me know if you hip to the Michigan Chronicle. So I wrote a review of The Rainbow Children that appeared in the Michigan Chronicle. And between those two things, he had his, at that time, publicist reach out to me, Linda. And Linda reached out to me, and basically I was coming home from a conference. He called. I hung up on her the first time. You know, like you got that cousin that play too much. I thought his cousin played too much, and she said, "Prince is gonna call you back. It'd be in your best interest not to hang up." I'm kind of condensing this. We talked on the phone for 1.5 hours the very first time. About a week later, he flew me out to Paisley Park. He had just converted well, not just converted, but he wanted to write a book about his conversion to being a Jehovah's Witness. But what he really wanted to do was write a book about how music and spirituality had led the civil rights movement for Black people. That's what the book was going to be about. And the tentative title for the book was The Truth, because, you know, that was his big word when he converted, was the truth. I was trying to get him to name it Radical Man, because of Radical Man 2045. And every chance I got, I would try to sneak Radical Man in there, and he would go, "See, Lee, that's not going to be the name of the book." So, like every chance I get, I would try to sneak Radical Man. "See, Lee, no, that is not going to be the title of the book." So I wanted to be Radical Man. All right, so thank you, brother. And so he knows about the Michigan Chronicle. Yeah. So yeah, so my review of Rain with You. So yeah, so for Off and On, and what happened is he presented it, I know, to three presses. They wanted a sexual tell-all book. They didn't want a civil rights, music, and spirituality book. And you know how Prince is. If it doesn't happen right now, he moves on. But yeah, we spent about 18 months working on that. So yeah, so that was my foray into. In fact, I'm going to see if I can. I'll see if I can do something at the end, but not right now. I'll see if I can do something at the end. I want to see a couple of more folks. I think really the community is the best takeaway from Celebration. You don't need. There we go. Right. Chris Paul's like, that's how he know me, right? That's how he know me. There we go. Just some other folk. There we go. We are love. Thank you, Sister Karan. We are a loving family. We got about 9 minutes left before Kim tells us we hit that. Appreciate you, Brother Rodney. Let me see here. All right. So go to Celebration, tell somebody Celebration. And of course, y'all know when you guys come back from Celebration, when y'all come to the chat, y'all gonna have to tell us how it was. All right. So again, Shaka Khan is gonna be at Celebration. We're also gonna have Paisley Park and Prince Celebration, Club 3121. We're gonna have with Liv Warfield, DJ Rashida, and Ashley Tamar. So definitely want to check that out. Also, if you can't make it and you're down south, want to give a big shout out to DJ Soul Sister. She puts on, and this is wonderful, Big Sex. I've been to this twice, the Purple Takeover in New Orleans. So if you can't make it up to Minneapolis and you live down south, and these are all free. So Google Purple Takeover New Orleans if you want more information about this. And this sister, by the way, Big Sexy, she is an archivist at Tulane University. Yeah, she's a musical archivist, and she's over the jazz musical archives at Tulane University. Sister Weber, but she's also a DJ. So she's going to be spinning. She's going to have multiple nights going on there. So check that out. Always shout out to the PRN alumni. The PRN Alumni Foundation, they're going to have a meet and greet. And for folks who don't know, the PRN Alumni Foundation, I don't want to speak out of turn, but what they do, Brother Sexy, is they actually create funding for charitable events through the people who played with Prince. And so I think that's why you want to support them, because they're keeping alive the charity work of Prince. And that's what I love about the PRN alumni. Also got the party up. It's not a celebration, it's a party. And that is the love for one another. So that's Sister Marte Garcia's foundation that she started with Prince, the love for one another. And so it's going to feature Sheila Lee. I think they had an event. Did they have an event on the West Coast? I think they had an event, I think on the West Coast, the Love for One Another Foundation had an event on the West Coast. All right. And of course, I'm sorry. Oh. And of course, Eric Lee's and Atlanta Bliss, the 11th annual Paisley Midwest Party, honoring the legacy of Prince. So they're going to be doing their thing. And anytime those two brothers are together, you know it's going to be a funky, fun time. Wait a minute. So before we get to that, any because want to do a couple of final things. I want to say this before I forget. If you're on my newsletter, if you're on my newsletter, I wrote a review of brother Jason R's documentary of Funk Jazz Cafe. So if you guys are familiar with Funk Jazz Cafe down in Atlanta, that went on for 20 years, they have a great documentary. So Jason has produced this great documentary about the Funk Jazz Cafe Arts Festival. And so if you want to check out my review, go to Substacks, go to Psychedelic Literature, and I wrote it's only a 3-page review, but that review is excellent. And I put the links in the review where you guys can find out about seeing the actual documentary. But it's a documentary of the Funk Jazz Cafe, and like everybody is in that doc who was at Funk Jazz Cafe during that time. Outkast, Goody Mob, India Ari, Joy Gillum, Omar, the brother who started Loose Ends. Check that out. Check out that. So go ahead. You wanted to have a Questlove thing, and then we're gonna close us out.
Yeah. Before I get to that, Eric Lees, if you haven't had a chance to see Eric and speak to him or hear him speak, you gotta go. Miss Dean and I did an interview with Eric a few years ago, and he is a treasure trove of great stories. He really is. Now, as for Mr. Questlove, Mr. I have a new film coming out. Let me state for the record, I really, really respect what he does. I love him as an interviewer. I loved him on Questlove Supreme, and now that's changed into the Questlove Show. He's a great interviewer. Having said that, he ain't no filmmaker. Hold on. Stop. When he did Summer of Soul, he came across some archival footage which needed to be seen. Don't get me wrong. But to me, when you direct a film, you're out there with your Spike Lee on, your little microphone, calling the shots, setting up the shots, doing all that. He didn't do that. What he did was he put in some new pieces and had it edited around that. I'm sure he did the same thing with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I know he did the same thing with Sly Stone. And to say all that, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I can do that. I did it in my undergraduate years at Sac State. I can edit. I can put together a film. So having said that, a state, give me a shot. Let me put together a little treatment of what I would do with the opportunity, and I'll get it to you, and we'll go from there. If Questlove can do it, no disrespect, but I can damn sure do it. Now, thank you.
Thoughts,
I said it.
The thoughts, views, and opinions of Big Sexy are Big Sexy alone and does not reflect what did Prince do this week. But I
think the point is that what you're saying is that Questlove has shown that there's a blueprint that the estate can use to get something out. And so I know a lot of people are gonna take that as a shot at Questlove. I think what Big Sexy is really saying is use the Questlove blueprint estate, and then you guys can get some things out. And so I'm going to do before we get let me see something here. All right. Now I'm going to do something just quickly, and then I'm gonna come back because I promise we're gonna close out. Let me see something just so I can. Let me see what I have here. No. Shoot. Hold on.
Seeley the diplomat.
Let me see something here. I just wanna, because share screen, window. Okay. All right.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. All right. So I'll just share this. This was the first fax that I got from Prince. So this was the very first fax that I got from Paisley Park. I'll just do this. Just I know. Well, I was told. So you see Paisley Park Studio, Audubon Road, Chanhassen. So this was the first fax that I got from Prince, and what it did was it detailed. So Lynn Anderson was the person who contacted me. The fax was on August 27th, and it was my travel route. I was going to be picked up, told what day I was going to be picked up, gave me my flight arrangements. And so where I was going to be staying is going to take me to Paisley Park. I was going to be flying on Delta. So yeah, so this was the first fact. Just so when you mentioned that, I would just share that. And so that's what that is. That was the first fact. That was the only thing I actually kept from my time with Prince was the facts that I got. So I'm gonna stop sharing that. So let me stop sharing that.
That's
and so
awesome.
Get back to share screen and that, and then share, and then hold on. Okay, so we're back on. And so now, so yeah, so I just wanted to just share that with folks. And now, as Prof. Duff always does, we're 1 minute over. So there are so many people who work with Prince and contribute to Prince who, in their time of need, we want to show them love. So we want to give love to Sister Jackie Thompson. She has a GoFundMe for her after her battle with lung cancer. We want to show her some love. Definitely Sarah Ann, who Rich Benson's wife passed. And so we want to show him some love, and please donate. And what we always say is it doesn't matter how much you can donate, whether it's $5, $10, $1. And Prof. Duff says, even if you can't donate, go on and share a kind word. But I want everybody to know that $1, $2, it's collective. If I give $1, Big Sexy give $1, everybody in the chat give $1, then it mounts. So don't ever feel like you can't give, right? Also, the sister Addie Durant, right? They did the Clubhouse Purple Rain, and so we want to show her some love. We all know Brother Troy and his artistry, and so we want to just tell Brother Troy we love him. We also want to thank Brother Troy because Brother Troy donated and sent in a video when we did the video tribute to Prof. Duff at the symposium. So shout out to Brother Troy. Also, Dr. Funkenberry, his battle with cancer continues. Both Brother Troy and Dr. Funkenberry, they're battling with cancer. And so we want to give them some love. Des Dickerson, the original guitarist of the Revolution. Let me say it again. The original guitarist of the Revolution. We want to show them some love. And then, as always, the playlist. So when you can go back, and we want to thank Prof. Duff for the playlist and everything that's been mentioned, all of the shows, all of the appearances. We want to thank Prof. Duff for that, so you can go and listen to everything. I'm sorry. Also, Brother Ricky Wyatt, we're always dedicating the shows to Brother Ricky Wyatt. We love you. Much love to Brother Ricky Wyatt's family. That is Prof. Duff's oldest Prince friend. And Ricky Wyatt, he was always here for Prof. Duff, right? He was always here. He always had her back. And then this is what I was talking about. This is my favorite Ricky Wyatt picture. It's with him and his family at Paisley Park, if I'm not mistaken. So when you go to Paisley Park, make it a family celebration. Much love to everybody. That's it. We are 4 minutes over. I want to say I want to say thank you to Big Sexy for coming in and helping me get through with this. I want to say thank you guys to the chat for being patient with me, for this being my first time. And Big Sexy and Sister Kim. Thank you, Sister Kim, for keeping me on the right and narrow and for keeping me going. With that, Big Sexy, I'm gonna let you take us out.
Thank you for having me on, and thank you, Celie, for shepherding the ship today. I was your Ed McMahon to your Johnny Carson, man. So you did a great job. Professor, thank you for the invite. I want to say, let me get serious for a moment. When I heard about Jackie, I just stopped what I was doing and contributed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know her. I've seen her. She was here in Sacramento. Her and I'm just spaced on her name, Ingrid Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
And we went and met up and we broke bread together. It was great. So I'm all about supporting her as she goes through this. Having said all that, we're going to wrap it up. And since Mr. Dean ain't here, but I am, we're going to work it like a job. Peace.
That's it. You know what I always say? Hug the people you love the people you love. We see y'all next week.